Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris Broadhurst. I'm going to do a few songs which Rod Mackenzie was known for doing. And I met Rod almost 40 years ago, in the early 70s. And he... just a second. We'll have this in 1 second. 1, 2, you can hear all that. So I'm going to do a few songs which Rod Mackenzie was known for, and tell a few stories about the origins of the songs and how we first met and how we last met, that sort of thing. The first song I'm going to do is a song that if you ever heard Rod Mackenzie live in concert, he definitely did this song. And in fact, he was known for starting his sets off with this song. The song is called Gisborough Road.
Travel, boys, that's what the signpost read. 4 more miles of muddy road, for you there lies ahead. There is no light to show the way, and the night is getting cold. And there's 4 more miles to travel, boys, along the Gisborough Road. Past the cross keys inside, the shadows seem so deep. Rain has turned to flakes of snow. The snow has turned to sleet. The wind is blowing chilly, and the rain and snow so cold. And there's 4 more miles to travel, boys, along the Gisborough Road. The only sound you'll hear, boy, is the trampling of your feet. And in the shadows of the hills, the echoes sound so deep. And somewhere near a moorbird cries, and like the winter night's lost soul. And there's 4 more miles to travel, boy, along the Gisborough Road. 4 more miles to travel, that's what the signpost read. It's only you upon the road. The world is in its bed. That old north wind is bitter, and the rain and snow so cold. And there's 4 more miles to travel, boy, along the Gisborough Road.
Thank you. Okay, it's a night in the early 70s, and I'm in Hamilton with my younger brother and our friend Mark. And we decided, I remember specifically, I was at least 18, so I could get a drink in a bar, and that my younger brother and Mark were both under 18. So we got it in our minds that we were in town, and somehow we got permission to stay out late from my parents, and we thought, well, if we go somewhere we've never been, maybe we'll all get served. So we went into Robin Hood. None of us had ever been there before, honestly. Got to the top of the steps, turned left, and it's where you go to the toilets now, okay? And we walked into this little bar, and there were two people in the bar. There was a bartender in one corner and an entertainer in the other corner. And I later found out the bartender was Mark Selly, and of course the entertainer was Rod Mackenzie. And he was singing this song. This song has always reminded me of an empty bar since then. And in fact, I've played it many times in an empty bar since then. And I told this story last summer in front of Rod Mackenzie and played this song. It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. The regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. And he said, son, can you play me a melody? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. Oh, la, 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 di, da, da. La, 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 di, da, da, da. Well, John at the bar is a friend of mine, and he gives me my drinks for free. And he's quick with a joke, or to light up your smokes, and there's some place that he'd rather be. He said, Bill, I believe this is killing me, as the smile drained away from his face. And I'm sure that I could be a movie star if I could get out of this place. Oh, la, 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 di, da, da. La, 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 di, da, da, da. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight, 'cause we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright. It's a pretty good night for a Saturday, and the manager gives me a smile, 'cause he knows that it's me they've been coming to see, to forget about life for a while. And the piano sounds like a carnival, and the microphone smells like a beer, and they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar, saying, man, what are you doing here? Oh, la, 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 di, da, da. La, 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 di, da, da, da. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight, 'cause we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright. Do-do, do-do, do. So by and by, as I got to know Rod, first thing that happened is I found out that he had a record album. I brought it here tonight. And I had never met anybody who actually had their own record out, and so I was pretty excited, you know. And so I bought it from him, and I was kind of nervous, and I went up to him and I said, would you sign it for me? And he says, oh yeah, sure. So he signs it, and then we went back to drinking, and I never thought about it, took it home. And I looked at it, and it said, thanks for a great night. So So I thought maybe he might have given me the wrong record or something. So I went back to him the next day and I said, how come you signed the album Thanks for Greg? And he says, that's what I always put. And I said, well, why? And he said, well, it fits any possible situation. So as time went on, I said, you know, I play a bit of guitar. I play a bit of guitar. He says, oh, where'd you play? Where'd you play? I said, well, you know, bedroom mostly. I played in the living room. Played in the bathroom once. That sounded nice. He says, you should get up here and play during my break. And I said, oh, I could never do that. I could never do that. But finally, I guess I got drunk enough one night and I did get up and play a song. And as soon as he heard me, he says, you should go to the folk club. And I said, well, what's the folk club? So gradually, over a period of months, he persuaded me that I should come up here. And I don't know the date that I met Rod Mackenzie, but I do know the date that I first played at the Bermuda Folk Club was May the 17th, 1976. And I told Rod about it, and I was totally stunned that he came along to support me that night. It was his night off. And then I had the last laugh because I did a couple of songs, and then I announced, I said, well, I'm going to do a Rod Mackenzie song. And he'd actually never had anybody do one of his songs before. So I did this song. It's called Gyrocopter. And every time I have ever heard Rod play this song since then, he's always dedicated it to me. It's very nice. It goes like this. Oh, and I've still got a piece of paper that I wrote the words out on in 1970. I think you'll build a gyrocopter, build it on your own. Like a silver bird out hunting, they will wonder where you've flown. As they scan the blue horizons, as they call their flyer home. You will fly above the clouds and leave them staring. Oh, how can they tell you? What do they know when you're flying in your gyrocopter high above the world that you know? And down below the broken glass, the people on the streets, and they all have a different voice for each one that they meet. The songs that they are singing are all songs of greed and pain. Like a lonely boy at midnight when he's left out in the rain. Oh, how can they tell you? What do they know when you're flying in your gyrocopter high above the world that you know? And the businessmen are busy making money for their wives as they sign another contract, as they sign away their lives. And out there in the darkness, as they scramble for their share, there's a sun above them shining, of which they're not aware. Oh, how can they tell you? What do they know when you're flying in your gyrocopter high above the world that you know? So I think you'll build a gyrocopter, I think you'll build it fast, and you'll take off from your neighbor's roof and watch the world spin past. Don't you listen, brother, to those folks who put you down, and you'll find yourself in trouble with your feet stuck on the ground. Oh, how can they tell you? What do they know when you're flying in your gyrocopter high above the world that you know? That's for you, Rod. Rod was quite a prolific songwriter, and I'll never forget, he played one song one night, and I ran up to him and I said, I really like that song, it reminds me of the Beatles. And he says, oh, don't say that. Don't say that. Because apparently he was worried that it sounded too much like a certain Beatles song. And actually, I'm not going to tell you what song it was, you'll have to figure it out yourself. Anyway, it's called I'm Fallin', and it's from the Acoustic Nuisance CD.
senses reeling. And I love you much more than I can say. I want you here beside me every day. And when I see you, I'm alright. You send my spirit soaring into flight. I'm falling. Baby, can't you see I'm falling? It's showing. My love for you is overflowing. And I've got you buried deep within my heart. And baby, if you know it, that's a start. And now I long to hold you in the night, making love in the early morning light. I'm falling. Baby, can't you see I'm falling? I'm falling. Baby, can't you see I'm falling? I'm falling. Thank you. I heard from Cindy McKenzie this morning, and she had mentioned that she was hoping to make it down today, but Megan is not doing too well, the daughter, and well, she would have chosen a really bad weekend to come down here anyway if you looked at the weather from Boston. I think she's going to make a trip a bit later this year, though. So I was listening to the radio one day. This was back in the 70s, and I heard an ad on the radio, and I thought, that sounds like Mackenzie. It really does. It sounds like Mackenzie. So I went and asked him, and I said, did you do an ad for the radio? He says, don't talk to me about that. I said, well, tell me what happened. He says, well, look, Rigo Furniture came to me, and they said, look, we've got this ad, and the budget is $100. And he says, $100? Fuck, shit. I only make $150 a week at Robin Hood, right? And so he says, yeah, I can do that $100 for 10 minutes work, no problem. They said, the only thing is, you have to record it and pay for the recording. And ZBM was $50 an hour, but his mate Jeff could get it done for $25 as long as he did it and mixed it within the hour. So Rod raced up there and he recorded this song, slipped Jeff $25. And he figures, well, I'll still get $75. That's half a week's work for an hour's pay. So half a week's pay for an hour's work. So anyway, he hands it over, and they keep it for weeks and weeks and weeks. Then eventually they said, look, we just found out you're not Bermudian. So we had to get a work permit, it cost $50. So we only got $25. So we only got $25. And he's telling me this story, and it's all like the mid-70s. Well, they kept on playing this ad, and it became a joke between Rod and me, year after year after year. And I remember, I think 2005 he was here. And I said, they're still playing that ad, you know. They're still playing that ad. And last summer he says, you know, I said hello to him, and about the second thing out of his mouth was, are they still playing that ad? I said, no, I think they went out of business, you know. Not enough publicity or something, I don't know. Have a good day and shop the Rigo Furniture way for a brighter day today. Go Rigo Furniture, something like that. Go Rigo Furniture. Well, I'm going to finish where I started. There's Gisborne Road is probably one of Rod's most, he was most known for that song, but there's another song which is probably number 2. And again, it's about from the area that he came from. And it's called The Land of Three Rivers. In the land of 3 rivers, I'm longing to be, where the tide wearing tees meet the north rolling sea. Well, my name is John North, from the south of the Forth. In the land of 3 rivers I dwell. In the steelworks and pits, I've gone down with me mates. Not a bad word against them, I'll tell. Well, they're the best bunch of lads, and I'll tell you for why. If they thought it would help you, they'd jump in the tide. In the land of three rivers, I'm longing to be, where the Tyne, Wear and Tees meets the North Rolling Sea. From Carlisle to Dover, from Bristol to Hull, and every town in between. Well, I'm known in them all for my accent and gall, and my friendship to Barber and Green. Well, I've got lots of friends, but still not enough. I'm a means to their end when the going gets rough. In the land of three rivers, I'm longing to be, where the Tyne, Wear and Tees meets the North Rolling Sea. In centuries gone, our ancestral homes were prey to the Romans and Danes. Ah, but Hadrian knew, and Odin did too, that the northeast was no place for games, especially football. Well, they tried to enslave us, but all efforts failed, and the sense of Saint Aidan and Hildegard prevailed. In the land of three rivers, I'm a longing to be, where the Tyne, Wear and Tees meets the North Rolling Sea. Well, we work hard and we play hard as we toil, and we drink the best ale in the land. Our roots nestle deep in Northumbrian soil, and our branches a kin outstretched hand. And if loneliness takes you and dampens your song, if you meet up with John North, you'll not go far wrong. In the land of three rivers, I'm longing to be, where the Tyne, Wear and Tees meets the North Rolling Sea. In the land of three rivers, I'm longing to be.